My name is Brenda Ndlovu. My company name is called Imbokodo Electrical. And I'm a mother of 4 girls. They range from all ages. I've got like young adults right to a twin. So my business, what we do in my business is we do electrical infrastructure. We electrify rural areas and areas that had no electricity before. Of recent, we've just started being in the transmission side of it, where we're building tunnels and pilots that you've seen around the road. We also do vegetation management. So basically, for the same lines, we specialize in trimming and all the alien trees around the forest where our power lines run. So we mainly work with municipality, Eskom, and any other private sector. Very funny. My background is curiosity. I was curious about business. So basically, I was born in Hammarsdale, which is in the west of KZN. And then, so basically, my mom was a street vendor. So being a child of a street vendor, I saw a client at age 6. So started speaking to people and talking. I was just 6. So to me, being employed was never something that was put on my head. Employed and being under someone, because I've always seen me and my mom, we've always sold in the streets and everything. So obviously when I finished school, I went and stayed with my mother. I went to varsity, and then in varsity, I got bored. And then I started going to look for work instead of going to varsity, behind my mom's back. So, and then when I got bored, on my way to school, I used to get a lift from an electrical contractor. So they used to give me a lift and everything. So basically one day they said, in our office, they need a replacement. And then I said, sure. Because at home I would wake up going to school, but I wasn't. I went to town and looked for all the shoppings and all that. And then I came back. So to cut the story short, then I went and worked for a company called Voltec Electrical, which was one of the early companies. Our bosses were ex-Eskom employees when Eskom was starting to subcontract the work. So I worked there in an admin space. And then eventually, when I worked for a company, I was employed by my boss's ex-fiancé. And then a year later, I met my boss. And then when he came, he says to me, you don't look like an admin person. You look like me, because I was very active. I mean, within the 1 year, I have self-taught everything in the office and everything, and I started working with the guys and everything. So then Mark says to me, he can see me in the business in the future. And then I got curious. I got curious about that. And then I didn't know that straight from matric, you could start a business and everything. So I went to my foster father, Rob Hill, and I asked him, I said, is it possible to start a business? And then he said, sure, yeah. So I went and registered the CC, that was in 2002. So I registered it, and then off with everything, because I was working for Mark. So when I started my own business, he supported me, and then I was in with Eskom, and that's how I just got in. And then, yeah, when the BE come, our company became the ideal for them, because as a young, because I was like around 22 then, as a young black woman in the space, my company was the first black-owned that was run by myself at that age, and also women-owned. So that kind of privilege kind of also boost us in the space, because we were just the girls for the boys. And that's how we've never looked back. 22 years later, we're still here. My biggest dream when I was growing up was to be a mom and be able to look after my children and like be able to offer them what I never had. I always tell my children, I was like, don't look at your mom. I'm living my dream. Everything when I was 17 that I've foresaw, it's actually happening. Yeah, so basically even my company is structured in a sense that it must allow me the opportunity to parent. So in terms of, I'm a divorcee with all these girls. And then you can imagine, I think when I got divorced, I needed to sit down and rethink things. And then obviously, I wanted to shape my company in such that it should allow me the freedom that I'm an office-free mom or am a boss, that it runs itself. And that, so in the past 2 years, I had to just shrink my business to expand it. But right now, I actually want to spend more of my time with my 9-year-old doing things, but at the same time, concurrently run my business. So that's basically, that's the reason why I work or I own a business, to allow me a freedom to be a mom that's present. Yes, I do. I know that because when I see something different, I would want myself to close that gap. Would it be in the business? Would it be in the social space? So having to be able to fight to close that gap, where if I want to level up and close that gap, I take that opportunity and I take it with ease. So that's me. And another person, I think I got it from my mother. She's late now. And I think how she shaped my life, the most effective way is in a sense that I grew up in a family of sellers, So for me, I never knew any downtime of business or any high. To me, everything was the same. My mom made sure that I never saw the side effects of being a business person. So how I handled COVID and how I handled trouble at my business, it's always like that. I know it's no different. So when business is down to me, it's like, okay, maybe this is a sign of something that we need to change and we need to look at. So I will always look at my setback as a need to change somewhere else. We've been a contractor of the year in the electrical space, but mainly, if I look at the people I started business with, I've maintained the same momentum over the years, which allowed the people that I've employed to be employed for a long time. And then the other thing that we do that I like the most, that's my passion, which makes it a hobby, is that when we go to rural areas and we electrify these homes, you must see the faces in the people with new electricity. We've also made an impact in like the students. Because remember when you study for exams and everything, and in our lifetime we've already electrified more than 100,000 houses and built like 10,000 kilometers of MV and HV power lines, which has impacted most of KZN. So basically, it's a very fulfilling business when you actually walk and see the difference that it does in people's lives. But more so, I like how I shape my employees. I mean, in my company, in the beginning, I went to the schools and scouts for workers. So I have workers that I have a relationship with their parents as well, that I know their background so much so. So our company is like family, and it's mainly families as well that are working for us. Lots of it. I mean, recently, like I said, we've went into the transmission space, and that was the greatest fulfillment and experience of our life when we first kind of install our first tower. I couldn't believe it because we took that challenge by chance, because they needed someone from KZN, and we said, we are in the distribution. They said, can you do transmission? And we said, yeah. So we went in there and we played it and we aced it. And for me, that was like, wow. You know, those are the things that are very amazing to see that is the work of my strategies and everything. And for me, honestly, business is a hobby. In more than anything, I love it when I strategize and my strategies come into place and they are playing and everybody. And when I see people that knew nothing, but when they ace stuff, that's what fulfills me the most. In the beginning, being the only black woman in the space, so both my color and gender had a problem. So I had to work 3 times hard than anyone that's there. I wouldn't say it's a racial thing. I think it's just a general thing. Also, as a boss of the man, because at one stage I was the only girl around. I had to up really my game to show that I'm serious, and so I had to learn hard to be a boss. I mean, I wasn't given an opportunity to just learn into it. I had to. I mean, if you understand Zulu man, you must understand being a Zulu woman on the other side. And also I would say that because I'm self-taught, I think where I would have wanted to be in the business, it took a delay because there was no one to mentor me or no one to show me the direction on how things are done. So when I look at my counterparts who started behind me and I look at, oh, that was quick for them, but I didn't realize that, oh no, the mentorship, the coaching, that would have been a challenge for me. So to the young women who like to be where I am today, I will tell them it's doable and it's possible. Just start. Just start. I don't think you need some skills because the industry you're in will teach you the requirement. And I think it's the action. Just get onto motion. It's doable. My future goals is to expand into an energy producing company. So basically right now we are on the electrical side of it, but we want to go into biomass, wind turbines, and be a purely, if you look at South Africa or Africa at large, there's a greater need of us that we are here. We need to be innovative and get into that space. That space is very open for us. So I want to be amongst those who are occupying it and set the trend for the IPPs, because recently the government has opened that space for us. So I want to be able to seize that space. And I'm a very spiritual person as well. So in the morning, I have a morning routine that kind of sets my day. So I wake up in the morning and I will do devotions, like personal devotions and some affirmations if I have. But mostly my children are my best friend, my family. So anything with them is relaxing.